Model AK-47, caliber 7.62 by 39 millimeters, made in USA.
The story begins on a vast American manufacturing floor, where steel, noise, and motion define the rhythm of the day. The camera sweeps across towering rafters and drifting welding haze, capturing forklifts weaving between coils of raw 4140 steel. The sound is a roar of machines at full stride, a living organism of metal and force. Soon, the thick steel coil unravels under the strain of an industrial uncoiler. Heavy rollers straighten the stubborn strip, shedding mill scale in showers of black flakes. A worker in oil-soaked gloves adjusts the hydraulic tensioner while the metal groans forward at 50 feet per minute. Before the steel reaches the first die, amber-forming lubricant rains across its surface, coating it in a glossy sheen. The smell of petroleum thickens the air as the strip slides into the guarded mouth of the stamping press. A moment later, a 600-ton ram slams downward, punching out the first receiver profiles with bone-shaking violence. Scrap webbing spits into bins as the press repeats its relentless cycle. On the conveyor, the newly formed flats gleam under fluorescent lights, their edges sharp and burred. A hand, calloused and marked by years on the line, inspects them with a go, no-go gauge before sending them onward to be bent. Another machine folds each flat into a rigid U shape, the steel screeching as it surrenders. The pace never slows. At the welding station, copper electrodes descend with a flash so bright the camera sensor flares. Sparks shower in chaotic bursts while blue smoke swirls upward. The guide rails are fused in place, and inside the shell, the weld nuggets glow faintly, surrounded by purple-blue heat tint. The shells are lowered into a steaming alkaline bath where oil, grime, and fingerprints dissolve into a rising cloud of chemical fog. Cleaned and bare, the receivers enter the furnace, 1550 degrees of roaring orange heat. Moments later, the glowing metal plunges into an oil tank, detonating in flame, smoke, and boiling fury. Hardened and darkened by fire scale, each piece cools into something far stronger than before. Receivers tumble in massive industrial vibratory drums, ceramic pyramids washing over them like a grinding tide. The sharp edges soften, the steel emerges smooth, deburred, and ready for the next journey. On another side of the plant, long bars of 4150 steel begin their own transformation. Robotic arms feed them into CNC lathes that carve them into rough barrel contours, blue-tinted chips flying against safety glass. Deep-hole drilling pierces the steel core with slow, steady force, while pressurized oil streams out mixed with metallic dust. Rifling is born through sheer pressure. Carbide buttons dragged through the bore, forcing grooves and lands into existence. Inspection lights reveal microscopic tool marks, which honing later removes. Chamber reamers carve the precise dimensions needed for the 7.62-39 round. Headspace gauges confirm perfection. The gas port is drilled with surgical accuracy. Threading at the muzzle completes the barrel's identity. Elsewhere, fiery red steel billets are hammered under thunderous drop forges, sparks exploding with each blow as trunnions take shape. CNC machines carve them to razor tolerances. Broaches cut the rear sockets. Horizontal mills chew through 8620 steel to form bolt carriers. Small lathes create bolts, firing pin channels, and extractor slots. Grinding wheels cut helical locking lugs with pyrotechnic showers. Heat treatment reddens them again before oil quenches everything in smoke and flame. Magnetic particle inspection exposes microscopic flaws like glowing constellations under UV light. Barrels and trunnions are pressed together under tons of force, drilled, pinned, and fixed forever. Receiver shells accept their trunnions through rapid, violent riveting. Trigger guards, rivets, rails, and spring assemblies bring the frame closer to life. One by one, sight blocks, gas blocks, and front sight bases slide onto the barrel and are pressed, drilled, pinned, and aligned with lasers. Assembled cores, barreled actions, hang by the hundreds, raw steel gleaming, waiting for transformation. Blasting rooms strip their surfaces with storms of aluminum oxide. Rinses, chemical baths, and parkerizing tanks turn them charcoal gray. Protective oil soaked deep into the new phosphate skin. Meanwhile, polymer components come alive from injection molding machines. Grips, stocks, handguards, fresh, warm, steaming with the smell of hot nylon, are clipped, trimmed, sanded, and inspected. In a separate annex, laminated wood furniture takes shape under saws, lathes, stains, sprays, and drying racks. In final assembly, the factory quiets to a more human rhythm. Workers install triggers, hammers, retaining plates, safety selectors. Stocks slide home under mallets. Handguards lock into place. Bolt carrier groups glide down oiled rails with a soft mechanical whisper. The recoil spring snaps into its nest. The final dust cover clicks over the top, sealing the heart of the machine. Quality control examines each rifle with white-gloved precision. Dry fire checks echo through the room. Clack, click, click. Gauges confirm headspace perfection. Sights are checked against a grid. Magazines inserted, locked, and released. Those that pass are wheeled down a stark corridor toward the live fire range. Behind ballistic glass, the rifles unleash their voice, sharp, explosive reports echoing through the test tunnel. Brass casings spin and ricochet off steel. Gas vents spit white bursts. Barrels glow with heat. After testing, the rifles return covered in carbon, ready for deep cleaning. Bronze brushes scrape the fouling away. Solvents drip black streams. Fresh oil is sprayed in a fine mist, darkening their finish into a rich obsidian sheen. Packaging follows. VCI bags, manuals, locks, magazines, stickers, labels, and seals. Boxes close with heavy tape and warnings of fragile cargo. Forklifts lift entire pallets into waiting trucks. Outside, the semi-truck doors slam shut with a final metallic certainty. A seal is affixed. The engine growls, belching smoke as the truck pulls away into daylight, carrying the finished American rifles toward their destination. Behind the factory walls, more stories continue. Woodworkers sand stock smooth. Presses stamp magazine bodies. Grinders sharpen cutting tools. Chrome plating tanks bubble with orange-red fury. R&D labs punish rifles with sand, mud, heat, and catastrophic failure. Scrap bins fill with rejected metal, proof that quality demands sacrifice. Offices update diagrams. Designers refine packaging. And sales staff mark new distributors on maps. Shift changes roll like tides. The factory never stops. At night, the building glows under floodlights while machines hum through the dark. And in the final quiet image, a single brass cartridge rests beside a finished rifle. The lens shifts focus from the gleam of metal to the muzzle poised behind it. A final breath of silence. American made.
stock ejection, large mold opening, complex stock shape, ejector pin actuation, visible pin marks, rough non-slip texture, polymer manufacturing.
First, insert the go gauge. The bolt must close fully into the battery. Then the no-go gauge.
The wire springs are placed on a conveyor belt, moving through a stress relief oven. At 400, they turn a straw yellow color.
Lift it higher, slowly now. Watch the clearance on the left. Okay, bringing it in.
We're almost at 365.
Don't jinx it, man. Wait till next week.
As you can see by the map, the Texas rollout has been incredibly successful. We project similar growth if we move forward with this demo model.
All right, Mr. Amati, everything seems to be in order.
Thank you.